Hi.
Oh my God. Thank you so much for your patience, man. You have exemplified patience today. I mean, definitely, because today I wore a couple of hats, y'all, and I stepped back out there and I did some things to become a vendor today. I hadn't done it in a while with my products. I'm getting back out there with my products and services, and I'm old, y'all. Let me just go ahead and tell y'all, I'm old. I'm 63. I ain't got a business
Not
doing all that
old.
farm stuff. Oh my goodness! And I couldn't. I don't multitask like I used to. I used to be real good at this thing. All right, Instagram. All right, I see you out there. Thank you so much for joining us. Show some love. Share the live. Share the live. Share the live. Christina Jones. So Stina Jane, right? I want to make sure I say that right.
Yes. Well, Stina
That's
Jone. Yes.
fancy. That's fancy. Uh, uh,
Stina
uh,
Jone.
a Southern Belle from Florida. All right, y'all. She's a Southern Belle from Florida, born in Texas, right? And
Ye-
she's been
Well,
there for a
born in
while. Single,
Florida.
single mom. Say that again.
Born in Florida, was raised in Texas.
Oh, born in Florida, raised in Texas. Correct
Yes.
me, get it right. Born in
Yes,
Florida,
ma'am.
raised in Texas. Single mom of two and a church girl. A
Hmm.
lot of people that can sing start out in the church, especially those that can really, and I can say they can sing. All right. So you've been singing ever since you were a young child. So before we get into your singing career and all that good stuff that you're doing now, I like for people to take us back to the good old days, to the childhood days, and tell us a little about who is Christina Jones before she became Stina J. Janae.
Yes. So I'm a whole preacher's daughter out here. My dad is a pastor, and I was raised in a church, as I mentioned before, and I've been singing pretty much like all my life, literally all my life. It's not a cliche. I know a lot of people who are singing or in the music industry, they be like, "Oh, I've been doing it all my life," like literally been doing it all my life. So, um, I would be the one that like my dad would be like, okay, so I'm gonna call my daughter up to the stand to come sing a song. And I'd be like, really? Like you just gonna put me on the spot like that? I'd be getting voluntold for my singing all the time.
Really? Now, when did he do that to you first? How old were you the first time he did that?
First time that happened, I was young. I would probably say about like maybe 7 or 8.
Wow. Now, do you have? I still had a little ringing. Make sure you got that device on Instagram down a little bit because maybe
Yeah,
it's
I'm
me.
trying to. I heard it too. I
Yeah,
was
turn it
like,
turn it down a little bit. So 7 and 8 years old. Was you scared? I mean, was you ready? I mean, what? How did he prepare you for that moment? Did he practice at home with you at the piano? And I mean, how did
oh
you get
no,
there?
there was no preparation. There was no preparation. Whenever my dad wanted to be able to do something, he was just kind of like on the spot with it. Like if it happened, it happened, and it was gonna happen right then and right there. So, um, whenever that did occur, I'm trying to. I think
Uh-huh.
this
You good?
my
It
bar.
sounds better now. It sounds better now.
Okay, okay.
So
So
he never prepared you and said, "Listen, your day is this week. Be ready. We putting you on the spot." That he never gave you that preparation.
no, I mean, he had got to the point where it was kind of like, hey, I have this program. I want you to sing. But that came like later on. Like any other time, it was kind of like, I'm a small child in the church with my dad. My dad just so happened to be the preacher of the church, and he's speaking, delivering a sermon. So of course, you know, um, they want a song before the preacher comes up to deliver the word.
Right.
So they would call me.
So, so tell me about what was it like growing up as a PK, a preacher's child.
Oh man, a PK. Being a PK is honestly, I feel like that's a whole job because we like all just like all eyes is on the pastor or the preacher, like looking at his family, like we're hold to a higher standard. There are things that we're it's almost kind of like if the pastor or the preacher is like the president of the church of the congregation, you know what I'm saying, like the president's family or the preacher's family, like everything is under like examination, like being in the eye of everybody else, and don't let us do nothing wrong. Then it's gonna be like, oh, the pastor's daughter, done did this, she done said that, she done got herself caught up into some mess. So it's just like constantly being under, that type of examination from other people, and being held to a higher standard, almost as if though, like, because I am his daughter, I can do no wrong, or I shouldn't do any wrong, is what I should say. I shouldn't do any wrong.
A lot of pressure. I feel like it's a lot of pressure now. Was you the type to rebel? Did you rebel as a child before?
You in my business, Miss Crystal. Yes. I'm ashamed the devil, and I'm gonna say yes. Yes.
But I mean, you're speaking for most preachers' children. Like, y'all were looked at like y'all was supposed to be perfect and not human, and you miss your childhood because your parents are on the pulpit. So you don't get to do those things that the other children do. Go to the parties, wear the short, and do those things, without hiding it. So I know that's a lot of pressure, unless you have that down to earth parent that, is a little bit, different. I don't know if you have the strict parents, because sometimes if your parents are older, that's out the window. So for you, was it easy or was it hard? I mean, were they easy to talk to kind of get you to be a child and kind of have a little bit of a life?
So like I went places and I did things with friends. Just my dad, I would probably say, was more of the stricter one. So anywhere that I'm going, he gotta know where I'm going, who I'm with, how long we're gonna be there, what we doing after, and that was in my mind. I'm thinking like, God dog, like, just, like, dang, like, I'm not gonna do nothing that crazy. And well, at least, I didn't feel like I was gonna do anything that crazy, which most of the time it was just really me just wanting to just hang out with friends, to have a little bit of a social life, and to, get out and just have some hang time with some friends that I really didn't get to see often or as much as I would like to, because I went to different schools from them. So when those things would happen, it would be more so my dad, wanting to know the whole layout. But he would tell me all the time, he'd be like, you just don't know, you had it easy. All what you had to do was come and ask me. And you had me wrapped around your finger.
Oh,
and
wow.
Didn't even know it. And didn't even know it.
So he told you that after you became like a teenager, a little bit older, something like that?
Yes, when I started becoming a young adult.
Wow.
When I was in like my 20s, I would say.
So let me ask you this. And what do you want me to call you? Christina or Stina? What would you?
Stina's fine.
So Stina, was you allowed to sing R&B music or that other music, before, you really started? I don't know. Did you sing in a choir and everything too? Or did he let you go and sing secular? I call it secular music.
Secular, yes. So I sang in, from the time when I was a child, I would, as far as church is concerned, I would always do the children's choir. And then I used to lead a song. Like I would be chosen to lead some songs sometimes, but it would be it was really tough for me when I was younger singing, because I didn't really I don't think I fully accepted or embraced the gift of singing when I was younger. Like I knew that I liked to sing, but as far as like knowing my own voice, like I would get real shaky, I would get real nervous, I would like bawl crying like almost every time I would sing. And I think that was just like me being scared. And people would look at that like, oh, sing for the Lord, baby. Let the spirit use you. Like, wait a minute, that ain't even a spirit, that's just nerves.
Yeah.
So yeah, that right there would just like send me. Like I would be just completely all out of whack when it came to stuff like that. But the more comfortable I got, then it started to, be a lane that I could definitely drive in. So yeah, I would sing in choirs at church, the praise and worship team. Even when I was younger, me and my best friend and her sister, we wanted to start an R&B group. And like my dad, him being a preacher, like always he didn't listen to only church music. Like he listened to like some of the old school, singers and performers like James Brown, Aretha Franklin, Luther Vandross, the Temptations, um,
So he
some of
so
the
he appreciated it, the music.
he was my dad is such a music head, like, and if he could talk about music from way back then, some of the songs that they would sing or that he would sing or that he remembers, it just kind of takes him down memory lane. So, and we would listen to those types of things, and when we would travel, we would be traveling back and forth from Texas to Florida. So when we would travel, like, yeah, we would listen to our, Mississippi Mass, Reverend C.L. Franklin, we would listen to some sermons and stuff like that. But like, that wasn't all what we listened to. I grew up on like old school music, like Motown singers,
Oh yeah.
Motown songs.